Hello and welcome to this, my fourth video in the Octopath Traveler. This video we got to the Shrine of the Huntress, and we are going to equip that job on Ophilia, because, like I said, this is where things get interesting. So right off the bat you can see she picks up the Hunter subclass. She will gain access to the axe and the bow as weapons. Down on the right, she will gain access to all 7 standard skills and eventually the divine skill of the hunter. And then at the very bottom, she gets a stat bonus: physical attack, accuracy, critical, speed, and evasion, because those are stats where the hunter is better than the cleric, which is her primary job, as seen right there, kind of in the middle. So we're gonna go ahead and equip that. She does a little, I don't know, a little cute face she makes when you're on that job. And then let's go see. The interesting thing is you get these makeshift weapons for the weapon types that you have access to as a result of your secondary job, but you don't have anything equipped, and those are weapons with no attack bonus on them. So you don't do a lot of damage when you're wielding a makeshift weapon, but you can you can cause the damage type, which often is all that matters, because you want to break the guard and then burst them down, and you're not going to burst them down with your weak weapon, and you might not be able to break the guard with your strong weapon. Anyway, so we see let's look at this. We have the cleric skills on the left and the hunter skills on the right, and the cost to learn a new skill resets to 30 JP for the hunter. And so if I wanted to, I'm 71 out of 100 to learn what I believe would be Reflective Veil, I guess. I don't really use a lot of her defensive buffs because her element, you don't run into a lot of elemental damage, but Reflect is really nice despite its high SP cost. And so I could spend 31 to come over here and pick up a hunter skill. But if you see down at the bottom, the support skills are unlocked after learning 4. So when I get to 100, I'll start unlocking the cleric support skills. And I like support skills, so I think I'm going to stick that out. Now the sprite doesn't change in the overworld map, but it will in combat. But I don't want to walk back through that area, so this is why in the previous video I stuck my head into the town so that I could use it as a fast travel point to get back out of that area, because I really have no business being there in the first place. Alright, so here, see the green on my mini-map and the green dots above the person's head. This is one of our playable characters. She wants to be our friend. So we come upon her halfway through her own first chapter. And so she has her own backstory, her own motivation for venturing out into the world. To be honest, I'm not super interested in hearing the beginning of her tale, because if I'm playing this from Ophilia's perspective, she doesn't necessarily know the whole backstory right away. And here is what I was saying earlier. Haunted speaks in this Shakespearean way. Thine offer is a generous one. And she ends a lot of there. I shall accept in thine offer. Lend in me thy strength in battle. She ends her in her verbs in this EN, and it's just, I think it's kind of neat. Anyway, let's go ahead and outfit her real quick, and then we will get a look at her path action. Now, unfortunately, I'm kind of broke. I would like to buy a bow for each of these ladies, because they can each use them. And then I don't have enough for a proper axe for each of them. I'm going to give this to Hanet because she needs it. That leaves me a little shy for gear, it looks like. Yeah, we'll do a bronze helm. Physical defense, at least in these early stages, and particularly here, it's going to be more important, I think, than elemental defense. There's not a lot that really hits you for elemental damage in these early stages. Okay, actually, let's go ahead and sell some of this. Let's see, there's a hand axe. Oh, hey, there's a hand axe. She could use that. Take Hanet's hand-me-downs. That's fantastic. And then no other accessories. This might actually just work out. Alright. Don't need to buy anything after all. So now that I have two characters, my path action window shows both their path actions. And Hanet's is Provoke, which is effectively a Pokemon battle. She has a bunch of... I know. She has a bunch of beasts that she summons with her. And then she just jumps people in the street and sticks these beasts on them. And now these are the ones, like this one, Lind is, I suppose, her starter. And it performs one of two attacks, and it deals sword damage to everyone or spear damage to one person. And usually, yep. She'll usually do the sweep, the sword damage that hits all enemies. But sometimes she'll do pounce, which is spear damage to one target. And the target is chosen at random. But you can just run around town harassing people. And I'm going to do that, actually, because it's a good way to get some experience for her to kind of catch her up to... Oh, good. It's to catch her up to where Ophilia is at. But you'll notice Hanet cannot use her normal abilities at all. She can't use her attack. She can't use hunter skills. If she picked up a subclass like Dancer, she wouldn't have access to Dancer skills. All she can do is her beast lore and summon animals to fight people. And Lind, she can use an infinite number of times, whereas the other ones, let's go into it. The Forest Fox and the Mossy Meep, she starts with. You see, the Forest Fox deals sword damage and has Blinding Claw, which I assume means it inflicts a blinding status. I'm pretty sure that it does. And then the Mossy Meep will heal a random party member. But they're each usable only 5 times, whereas Lind is usable any number of times. And Lind is awesome. Giant, spotted leopard, looks like. It's just really cool effect. Just have this cat fly in from the side, murder things, and vanish. I get a kick out of it. Alright, we're provoking people. Again, just kind of for a little boost to experience before we head off into the woods. Pounce. And everyone in this town seems to be weak to sword and spear, which makes it really easy to just kind of cut through them. Untouched and break. Alright, we hit level 3. I think that sounds pretty good. Let's see. Nobody in here. Grab this, Inspiriting Plum. And now, you may be wondering, well, that's nice, you can beat people up in the street, but what's the point of that? And you see this guy, hey, no visitors allowed. You can just say, oh, well, I'm coming in anyway. And just sick your giant mutant cat on him. Like this. Sweep. Yeah, I found Lind does a shocking amount of damage. And because her effect is random, it doesn't cost any resources, so you can do it all day. And it's actually really good. And so anyway, you can attack this guy and knock him out and gain access to whatever he was guarding. Which here, this is a purple chest. And there's only one character in the game that can open purple chests. So it's kind of unfortunate that that's the reward for this. But let's see. Be sure to stow in thy treasures securely. Alright. Well, and if you missed it, and I don't know if I've mentioned it, but this little book and scroll with a little pen moving across it. This is the save points. Talking in some games, talking to a save point restores your health, mana, whatever. Not in this game. The only reason to use one is to save your progress. So let's see. There's a chest back there. Is there any way to get to it? Oh yeah. All right. So now I have effectively two hunters. So here, this is what I was talking about. Now it gets fun. So I can say, let's say, hit you with an axe. Okay, that doesn't work. Or at least it's not one of the vulnerabilities. And I like to kind of probe them to see what their vulnerabilities are. And so it's likely the bow, because we're in Hanet's area. And everything in this area is going to be weak to one of her weapons. And so there. And because, that's the thing, because everything in this area is keyed to be weak to hunters, the fact that I have two hunters is going to make this almost too easy. It's going to be great. Let's go ahead. Got that chest. Moving forward. Alright. Let's see if we can get that domination bonus now that we have two people. The turn order says this marmot is going to go before Hanet does, but I've got a bow that says that's not going to happen. So he lost his action, and now that he's broken, I'm going to go for highest damage, which I believe is going to come from Lind. And let's see if we can defeat him. Ooh, pounce, even better. And get that domination bonus. Because JP, even though it's only an increase of 1, right now it's supposed to be a 10% bonus, but going from 4 to 5 is a 25% bonus to JP. So that is, it's huge to get those bonuses as early as you can and start gaining those skills. Let's see, 500, excellent. Let's see, actually, okay, so she's only a 19. And now actually, it took me a while to notice this. Let's see if we can do this again. Yep, this should be easy. Break and hit, and then her highest damage is her Holy Light. So let's go ahead and do that. Perfect. Good work, ladies. Get that domination bonus. That's the pomegranate. Oh, I meant to call attention to that. All right, we'll have to win another fight. There's something I want to point out in that little menu, or that screen, the victory screen at the end. A mossy meat, huh? Hey, I have one of you. Oh, I don't know. That's a pig. Let's try hitting him with an axe, shall we? All right, axe works. So we can stun him. So we didn't know his vulnerability, so we couldn't really take him out in the first round. And here I'm just trying to conserve some SP. But because we didn't know his vulnerabilities, we just decided to at least go for the untouched and break bonuses. But anyway, right under the bar that shows their experience is that JP, and it shows you what their current JP is. So I don't have to waste time going into the menus until Ophilia gets to 100 or Hanet gets to 30, since those are their costs. Unless I decide I want to go buy Hanet's hunter ability, which honestly, while I'm in here, I may want to do, because again, having two hunters with the right abilities is just gonna be nuts. All right. Some monster is killing things in her forest, and she's got to go put it down. Fortunately, she speaks wolf.
This bodeth ill.
This bodest ill. She's so cool. I wish I could. I wish I knew which the grammar principles that govern when to end a vowel or verb in E, like there, return, and when to end it in en. The en is actually interesting. It reminds me of German, because the verbs in the infinitive verbs end in en in German, but y'all probably don't care about that. Hunt to save in the forest itself. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and back up. There's a brown chest. We want to grab that. Healing grape. And then, all right. Let's finish off this. What is this guy? Forest fox. Let's hit him with the bow. Perfect. I don't have it memorized, or I don't have it all written down anywhere, but sometimes when they're stunned, I like to just continue to hit them with things and see what hurts them. Because, I mean, what are they going to do about it? And finish him off before he wakes up.
The hunt ends.
Untouched and break. Hanet's about to hit level 5. But I've got to go ahead and stop it there. But we are headed in deeper into the Stark Forest, and we will find out what this beast is that's killing all the men and beasts. And